Okay, so this is the final video for the rattle horse, okay, or the rattle animal, I should say. What I want you to realize is that to make something that looks nice, it takes time. I don't expect that you should have it done in an hour or two. I've come to the conclusion that you guys seem to think that you can work on it for, a very short period of time and somehow that's going to be good. It doesn't work that way, guys, okay? So to make something that you're actually proud of and looks really cool, it does take a fair amount of time. All right, so this is the finishing touches on my little horse here. Um, at this stage, it is definitely firm, leather hard. I could not, if I tried to move it, it would literally just break. These are extremely fragile, and the tail is very fragile, and my ears are also very fragile. What I want you to realize is that it may look really good like this, but that is just because the camera on this awesome Elmo here, which is not awesome, is terrible. The quality is really kind of awful. Okay, so you can't see all of the crumbles and everything because, well, the camera is really is garbage, but it's what I have to use because that's what the district bought me. What I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm going to knock down all of the little crumbles that are all over the place. They're all around the ears. They are definitely all around my little main parts. Okay, so I'm just going to come through and I'm just literally taking and going through and knocking them off. See, I've got crumbles here. Those all, they don't look nearly as nice when you have those things all over your project. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to real carefully knock down all of those crumbles. Can you see it on it? See, you can't see on the thing. It looks really good, but it really does not look good in real life. So I'm just literally, I'm taking all of these little crumbles and I'm knocking all of those off because, well, I want it to look good. You can see the little score marks and everything. So I'm going through and I'm just knocking down all my little score marks because I want him to be relatively smooth. Okay. His tail looks pretty good. And I got to come and really, it's not a ton of stuff on here, but it is some. But I'm going to be extremely careful because at this stage, if I knock off an ear or one of these little balls for the hair, it's I can still attach it because it is firm leather hard. It just doesn't like attaching nearly as much as it does when it's at a softer state. Okay, so I'm just coming through and just taking out the crumbles from the ears because, well, it's, and I'm going to support it a little bit. And then I'm probably going to go back through after after I'm done recording that, okay? But because I don't think you really want to sit here and watch me scrape off all the little beads and stuff. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to come through and I'm going to take and I'm going to make all sorts of little scratch marks to create the illusion, and then I'm going to knock those off, that there is actually hair on the tail. So I'm just going to come through and I'm creating textures. So you can create textures in your project as well. I'm going to support this a little bit because I don't want to put too much pressure on it and, knock it off because, well, that would be a bummer. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to do all of this all over his tail. I might do a little bit on the mane as well. And then I'm going to come through and because I want it to look like it's hair and stuff, I'm going to come through and I'm just going to stab at the end just to create a texture all over. So it looks like there's little dots all over the tail. Okay. But I don't want to do it like I actually want to, I don't want to hold it like I'm going to hold it like this. I don't want to, I just don't want to damage it. I don't want it to fall off because that would be sad. So, all right. So once you get to this stage, you're at your finishing stages. You're knocking off all of those little crumbles and stuff. Okay. So I've got texture on the tail. I've got texture on here. If you ever come into, oh, you can you see it? Oh, you can barely see it. You see that right there? Well, you really can't see that either. You can see it when you're right here in person, but you just can't see it all that well because the camera's not that good. Okay, so I've got some of that done. I'm going to come through here and I'm going to clean it up. And I'm going to say, once I go through and I look and I say, all right, all my details look good. I have an air hole in his hiney. I have an air hole in his belly. And I have an air hole in his nose. See, I'm going to take, this is what I'm going to do. When you bring your project in, I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to say, oh, that's not hollow there. That's stuck in there. And I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going to say, ooh, look at that. That just jams in there nice and far. This is goes all the way. And I can test it. I'm going to say, oh, yep, it goes back into this section because this section right here is hollow. Then I'm going to go like this and I'm going to go, oh, that goes way far in. So if I do that, that's going in that far. If I were to go to his little hind end, I'd shove that in there and well, that's really far in there. Okay. So I know that these parts are hollow. I have had students in the past take and they do this. So they'll take and they'll go like that. Well, let's say it's a little bit bigger. Let's pretend it's bigger. I would say if you do what is this called? A paper clip, make sure you do multiples and make sure you are penetrating all the way into your project. Because if you do this and it stops right there and it looks like there's a hole, and I come in and I do this and it stops right here and it doesn't do like this. So when you pop it in there, make sure you go like this a little bit to make it a little bit bigger so I can actually, like get my paper clip in, because I'm going to test all of them. If I go in and I do this like this, and it won't go any further, and I'm like pushing, and your project is dried out, guess what I'm not going to do? I can't fire it because I'm not going to take the chance that it damages my kiln or that it damages someone else's project. So make sure it goes all the way in and you are doing this right here, okay? So just so you know, this right here was, I was doing an example for a student, and I showed him how to do this. I wish he had asked this in class because I would have showed the entire class how to do something like this. So if you want to learn how to do certain things other than just what I've showed you, all you have to do is ask, and I am more than willing in class to show you additional things, teach you a whole lot more than just what the videos have. But that requires you to do this crazy thing called ask. Communicate. You can even send a private message through Zoom, and I will totally show you how to do all sorts of awesome stuff. But that requires you to actually, like ask. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to be done, and I'm going to say once I'm done with that, I'm not going to show you the finish because you can't see all the details anyway. But take your time and make sure that what you do is good and it's your best representation that you can possibly do. Because while I'm going to grade you guys a little bit harder, I'm noticing that you guys don't seem to realize that class is 5 days a week. So if you were to work 5 days a week, that is, that's, let's just say you work 40 hours or 40 minutes a day, because we have class for, technically we're supposed to be in class 50 minutes. So 4 times 5 is 200 minutes a week. So 2, 4, 6, we have 6 weeks. No, sorry, not 2 weeks. 3 weeks left in the semester. So let's say that's what did I say? My math is terrible, guys. 5 days a week, 40 minutes, that's 200 minutes. So 2, 4, 600 minutes of time to work on your projects until the end of the quarter. I actually do, I'm not joking when I say I do actually want you to work on them like that, because, well, you'll find that your projects go from looking like, special to actually really like wow, and that's what we want, is wow, not oh gosh, yeah, I got it done, but it looks like a hot mess. Okay, we really do want it to look nice. So please take your time, make it look amazing, because I like amazing. I do have some that are amazing. Thank you guys. For those of you that are getting into it, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the work that you do. It really does make my job teaching, even in this horrible virtual world, a lot better. So thank you to those of you that are really putting forth the effort and being amazing. It has been a pleasure talking with those of you that will actually engage in conversation with me. So that being said, you have a great one, and I will talk to you at your next private meeting, because in this virtual world, everyone's afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to talk, people. It's a good thing. All right. Peace out. Talk to you later.